My name is Andrea Ryan. I moved to Johnstown in 2010 for a job, and I chose to live in the city instead of the suburbs because I really liked it here. As I got to know the city and the people here better, I saw that my background and my skills are a really good fit for Johnstown. I'm an expert in aging, families, illegal drugs, and community development. I know a lot about these things, and I know a lot about what works and doesn't work in cities a lot like ours all around the country. I worked on many teams, and I know what it takes for a team to be successful. I believe that I have a moral obligation to use my talents where they can do the most good, and serving the people of Johnstown on City Council is a way for me to do that. Like a lot of cities, we're trying to adapt to changes beyond our control, and we have a lot of problems. Illegal drugs, violence, blight, poverty, sewerage, and financial distress are serious concerns. Unfortunately, the relationship between city government and its people is unhealthy. Many residents believe that it's corrupt and caters to special interests. They don't trust it. They think that it's dishonest, that things are unfair. So corruption, if it's there, should be rooted out, and codes should be impartially enforced. Information should be fully and freely available. And council needs to work as a team. Stubborn refusal to listen to new ideas, resistance to compromise, constant interrupting, and obvious disrespect are not the way to get things done. I don't have a lot of faith in top-down government programs that throw money at problems, and I would aim to turn some attention away from the central business district and toward neighborhood development by assigning council members to neighborhoods as links to city government. I would try to shift focus to specific neighborhood concerns to fix our problems by building stronger communities. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Ryan. Next is Mr. Mattis.
Hi, my name is Homer Mattis. I'm a lifelong resident of Johnstown, born and raised here. I worked 33 years in the steel mills at the Craman. I'm a volunteer groundskeeper for the Standyville Memorial Gardens down there. My objection is that we need to change the way City Council looks. You always see the same four councilmen and the mayor always voting the same. We're against the other two. We need to even the odds right now. Everybody keeps blaming Jack Williams and Charlene Stanton for the troubles that are in of Johnstown, but they're not the problem. The problem is what's called, the city keeps trying to take money from those of us who are on the fixed income. And we really can't afford to keep paying out there. A lot of people out there don't have the money. Like that sewer project. I just got mine put in, and that cost me a lot of money. Now, and then the other thing is, the young kids out there, you see them out there with guns and stuff like that. We don't know where they're getting them. We got to do something to curb the violence in the city. Really, I can't think of much more else, and so, all right, thank you for listening to me, all right? Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Mattis. Next is Dr. Taranto.
Hello, thank you all for being here tonight. My name is Joseph Taranto, and I am running for Johnstown City Council. I and my beautiful wife of 13 years, Saki, are chiropractors with our own business, Park Avenue Chiropractic in Moxham. We have 6 lovely children and live in a home in Moxham. I was on council for a brief moment in 2013, and I have served on the Planning Commission. I am currently the chairman of the Johnstown Housing Authority and the Johnstown Shade Tree Commission. I am also the committee chairman of my son's Scout Pack. I am very involved with my family. I volunteer coach, referee my children's teams, and volunteer in many community projects and events. I know many of you are here today to listen to people who believe they can change Johnstown for the better. I want to commend each and every one of them for stepping up and for all of you in attendance. Today you are going to hear many plans and promises, some good and some bad. But plans are only as good as the foreseeable problems, and promises are only as good as the person who makes them. We have a lot of issues to deal with in our area, and most of us can agree on what they are: jobs, blight, drugs, population loss, degradation of our communities, corruption, and the list goes on. Do I have a plan to address these issues? Yes. But these issues are too many and too involved to address in a 2-minute introduction. Some here will tell you what you want to hear and condense it into bumper sticker slogans. But that is what they are, empty promises. People can claim all sorts of things about what someone is going to do and promise you these things. My platform is simple and proven. The agenda I have is to root out corruption within our political system and make our system work for the people, not against them. I want City Council, as well as all government bodies, to be honest and transparent. It's a straightforward platform. Now is not the time for talk and promises, and now is the time for action. If you want Johnstown to move forward, please vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Taranto. Next will be Mr. Amsdell.
Good evening. My name is Mark Amsdell, and I'm running for City Council because I can no longer sit back and watch as Johnstown continues down the same path it's been on for a very long time. The biggest thing that needs to happen for Johnstown is to get back on track. And in order to do that, it's up to you guys, all of you, to elect a City Council that understands its role. We can no longer sit back and watch as Band-Aids are applied to problems that need real solutions. We need a Public Works Department that has the tools and the training to maintain and sustain Johnstown. Instead of throwing tens of millions of dollars at contractors, we can no longer sit back and watch as tax dollars are given to companies that don't repay it. Tax dollars that could have been used to replace the aging equipment. We need a state that does not import criminals from other states in the name of revenue, just so they can end up putting their drugs and crime on our streets. We need a city that views us as customers that it has a responsibility to, not as a revenue source. We need a City Council that can focus on all of Johnstown and not just the Central Business District. A city that is willing to solve its own problems before asking surrounding communities to adopt them. We need a council that realizes that currently our biggest exports are our jobs and our children. And it's up to you to pick the right people to get our city back on track and secure a future that we all need to have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Amsdell. Next, Mr. Vidovich. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dave Vidovich. I'm running for City Council. I was born and raised in Johnstown. I worked 35 years for the Public Works Department. And as my fellow candidate, Mr. John Cole, I'm the past president of the local, asked me 6:30. The reason I'm running is I feel Johnstown really starting to move in the right direction. There's a lot of things happening in Johnstown, and I'd like to be part of that. Right now, we're doing a lot of tearing down of blight, and we're working on more funding. And as I'm saying, is Johnstown really starting to move ahead, and I just want to be part of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vidovich. Next will be Reverend King.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity. My name is Reverend Sylvia King, and I'm the pastor of Christ Center Community Church. I am also a businesswoman. I manage the main office of a downtown bank. I've been diligently working in the community for over 20 years, and I've had the opportunity to partner with over 19 different community organizations. Because I hear the voice of the people on a daily basis, and because I am involved in the neighborhood and in the community, I can tell you the first things first, we need to get the guns off the street. We need to do whatever we can to put all our resources together to unify ourselves so that we can begin to remove the guns. There's not a Narcan for guns. Once the bullet leaves the chamber, that's it, and you never know whose name is attached to that. I have common sense, I have good judgment, I'm an independent thinker, I'm a unifier, I am direct, but I'm also reasonable. I believe that neighborhoods need to be strengthened. We need to do whatever we can to begin to rebuild our neighborhoods. Our neighborhoods are aging, they are deteriorating. They need to be peaceful, healthy, clean, and safe. We want people to live, work, and play and invest in our area. And the way to make this happen is to begin to reestablish our neighborhoods. Give me the opportunity to take all this and put it to work for you. I am asking for the opportunity to serve you. I will make a difference.
Thank you, Reverend King. Next is Mr. Janakovic. 2 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Frank Janakovic, Mayor of the City of Johnstown. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the organizers of tonight's candidate forum, especially those students. I'm a lifelong resident of Johnstown, homeowner, and businessman in the city. I've been involved in our city in multiple activities and various committees over the years. As a community leader, I am a member of several city, community, and business boards, the Chamber of Commerce, Visioning 2025, JARI, and local and state committees for children's services. I've coached Little League Baseball, junior high football, and soccer, and participated in high school and college football. As a business person and head of an agency, I have 35 years of management experience employing over 325 individuals, professionals and paraprofessionals, developed an after-school program and summer program for children, work with disadvantaged persons, and have developed schools for children with autism and programs to keep students in school. We operate 6 sites in the Johnstown area, 6 buildings that would probably be vacant right now. As your mayor, combining these skills, working with those on council that want to move our city forward, we've brought in $39 million in grants to our city and our region. We've paved the roads and alleys that have not been paved since the '77 flood, and we've worked to bring jobs here. There was an announcement yesterday that 1,000 jobs have brought into our region just recently. Continue to deal with blight and drug issues. I've learned that my best attribute is the ability to work with people and get them to work together. It's not necessarily what I do individually, rather it's what I can get others to do collectively. Lesson learned is Visioning 2025. 200 persons working towards a common goal of improving our city, but doing 27 different jobs. Community gardens work with youth, church groups, food banks, and activities. Again, like tonight is a prime example of several groups working together for the good of our community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Janakovic. Next up, Mrs. Mock.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marie Mock, current City Councilwoman. First and foremost, the duty of a councilperson is to serve the public and be completely accessible to them and work for their concerns. I do this almost every day. I care deeply for the city and its residents. I'm the Secretary-Treasurer of the West End Improvement Group and founding member of Save Our Steeples, which saved the churches in Cambria City from being destroyed. I'm a member of the United Neighborhood Association, which encourages the neighborhood spirit. I believe in community and the it takes a village philosophy. We have many problems equal to that of many other cities in our state and country, but this cannot be acceptable to us. We have to keep working harder to do better. These problems didn't happen overnight, and they're not going to be fixed overnight. We have to keep pushing forward ahead and finding solutions. We have to fight for our town and its residents and stop fighting among ourselves. I have the temperament, ability, and common sense to deal with these issues in a reasonable and factual manner. When you work with government entities, businesses, and citizens, you need that. Tough decisions at times need to be made. I don't run from them, I deal with them. I'm concerned about the drug and crimes and violence in our city. I wholeheartedly support our local Johnstown Police Department and what they do, and are pleased that they are working with many law enforcement agencies and municipalities to stop this. I have an immediate family member in law enforcement, and what is happening here is very real to me. I get it. I will do everything I can to support law enforcement to make our neighborhood safer. I support and encourage the new initiatives of our city manager and how he is handling blight and enforcement of codes. This is what we need to make our neighborhoods cleaner and safer. I give back my salary at council my first term and have donated my second salary to the Community Foundation for Resident Assistance Fund for their sewage. I pledge and promise to do whatever I can to help us. Please, I appreciate your vote on May 16th.
Thank you, Mrs. Mock. Next up is Mr. Britt.
Good evening. First, giving honor to God, who's the head of my life. I come to you tonight. My name is Ricky Britt. I'm a graduate of Johnstown Central High School, proudly say that. I'm a member, also active member of St. James Missionary Baptist Church. I'm a past active member of the United States Marine Corps. I served in the Vietnam era. I've been endorsed by the FOP of Johnstown City Police. I come to you tonight as a candidate for the City Council because I want to bring our city back to what it used to be. I'll come with a whole lot of promises. The only promise I can make to you is that I will work to make the city better. As I came up as a young lad in this town, the city used to be called the friendly city. No more is that a fact. The blighted houses, we will work on that. The drug problems, we will work on that. I can't sit here and promise you and tell you that I have all the answers to the problems, but I can sit and promise you, tell you that I will work to find the answers to the problem. I ask that I get your support tonight as a candidate and serve as your city council of Johnstown. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Britt. Next up, Mr. Wallerhall, 2 minutes.
Good evening, and thank you for having this tonight. The reason I'm running for city council, my vision is a vision of a little bit of the past. Clean, safe, and friendly, like the signs used to say on our streets. I have seen my neighborhood become drug-infested, blighted, potholes, being forced into a sewage mandate that's costly, and it seems every answer is raise your taxes and raise your sewage fees. That fixes everything. I'm sick of my city government making the hard decision to take my paycheck. I know a lot of you are tired of the same thing. I've lived in this neighborhood right here in Moxham for 41 years. I bought a house 3 houses down from where I was born. It's time that this city starts to realize that there's more to Johnstown than the downtown central business district. There's neighborhoods, and it seems like everything goes to influential people and their little playgrounds where they go, while our neighborhoods sit and rot. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of it. I'm a very hard worker. I've worked in the laborers union here in Johnstown for 27 years. I'm asking you to vote for me, to put me to work for you, the residents of the city of Johnstown. I hear area and region. I'm running for Johnstown City Council, not area or region anything. I pledge to put the people of this town first with every decision I make. And I'm making one promise to every voter everywhere I go. I am not raising your sewage fees or your taxes for anything, period. We've had enough of that, and it's time to have something different. On May 16th, let's do something different and elect just a common working man and see if that's a little different than the path you're on. If you're happy with the path you're on, vote another way.
Thank you, Mr. Warhol. Mr. John Cola, 2
Good
minutes.
evening. My name is Nunzio John Cola. I'm here tonight to ask you to vote for me May the 16th. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I worked for the city for 34 years. I was a union president for 30. I was a union organizer. I organized all the boroughs, Conemaugh, Westmont, Southmont. I was a union negotiator. And like I've said before, you get me in a room, we could compromise and discuss anything. We could take care of business, and I want to do that for the citizens of Johnstown. I was involved in recreation. I helped get Roxbury Walking Trail, the lighting walking trail in, scoreboard at Roxbury Park, and I also saved the Point Stadium, helped save the Point from being demolished. I've been very busy. My slogan is this: honest, fair leadership. And the people of Johnstown deserve nothing less. I believe my record speaks for itself. On May 16th, I'd appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. John Cola, and all the candidates.